Finney Koo Psychology. Today we are going to talk about stressors, coping techniques, and pharmaceutical administrations. So let's start with adrenaline. We mentioned that adrenaline hormone is released through the human body when the psyche perceives a threat. So we understand that stress and the reaction to stress can trigger adrenaline. And in addition to that, once someone's adrenaline is up, then if someone else is around, their adrenaline goes up as well. So, for instance, if someone starts screaming and running in a certain direction, the people around would probably start running behind that person because that person has made them perceive a threat. So we do not want to operate on adrenaline alone. We want to learn coping skills and coping techniques. So we're going to just kind of go over various coping techniques and coping skills that you can use when you perceive a threat. Because sometimes it's not really a threat. So we want to make sure that we understand how to cope with these stressors. When you think about coping, we're going to think about all of our five senses. So let's start with our eyes. How can we come up with coping techniques for our eyes? Some people like to look at pretty and beautiful things that intrigue them when they're stressed out. How about our ears? Some people listen to music. They say music calms the savage beast when we're stressed out. Some people like to listen to poetry, various ways, or just to speak with our mouths and to be heard and have someone listen to us, or to speak out loud to our psyche so we can hear ourselves. Let's go with nose. Nose. Aromatherapy is an awesome way to relieve stress and to cope. Pheromones are very powerful, and so maybe you can get flowers once a week as your way of coping. Maybe you can go to church and sing songs and fellowship. So touch, to have a massage, or maybe give someone a massage as a way of coping. All of these things help our psyche and stroke our psyche, and it tells our mind that it will be okay and that life can go on and that this situation can pass and we'll laugh again. We might be sad right now at this moment, but things get better. And so this is our way of allowing our mind to tell our bodies that it will be better. Coping. Here are some points on how to look at handling stressful events and managing stressful events. So we're going to look at behavioral health. The theory of behavioral health is boundaries and balance. Those are the two B's in behavioral health. Boundaries and balance. So if you know what you have to do, and there's a list of the things that you want to do. The things that you have to do have to come first. So maybe you do 3 things you have to do and then 1 thing that you want to do. Then go back and start at the 4th thing on your list and then do 3 more things that you have to do. And so boundaries and balance. When it comes to people in relationships, the same thing. Boundaries and balance. You cannot give without receiving. And so we always have to have that mindset. And that goes for relationships, that goes for our mind and ourselves. We can't continue to give to others if no one ever gives back to us. And so remember that when we look at our bodies, when we look at our minds, when we look at the things we put in our bodies, and when we look at the world around us. So let's carry on and let's talk about pharmacology and how that plays into psychology. So we went over neurotransmitters and the chemicals that are in our mind and in our central nervous system, and that goes throughout our bodies and gives us signals to move, to stay still, to wink, to smile. This is all a part of our mind. And when our mind is not healthy, then our body's not healthy and our lives are unhealthy. And so if you are in need of mental health, you can always reach out to your local crisis center, mental health crisis center, and it's always a 1-800 number, and then they can refer you to mental health counseling and other supportive service for mental health. Psychologists are able to give you counseling, therapy, set up service plans to get you back on track. And psychiatrists might be able to prescribe medication that may be able to balance your neurotransmitters so that you are functioning at a baseline where you can enjoy your life. So all these things are what make up psychology. Making sure that the human mind is healthy. Because the human body hears what the human mind is saying. So we went over that the Behavior Analysis Certifying Board certifies psychiatrists and psychologists to provide mental health service. So if you are in the field of psychology and you are providing health, then you are aware that the Behavior Analysis Certifying Board certifies, again, nationally certifies psychologists and psychiatrists here in the United States. And again, psychologists are able to give counseling and support by providing mental health therapy. And psychiatrists are able to do the same in addition to prescribing mental health drugs. There are a list of mental health drugs, and these drugs primarily focuses on the central nervous system.